The officials are ready.
Hey
The
y'all.
fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So, for the thousands in
Bias
attendance
boxing.
and the millions watching around the world.
Alright, let's get into it, y'all. So here we got Spence Jr. versus you guys. Everybody talking about this fight. You got people that's online that want to keep on saying that, oh, I knew this was gonna happen. Oh, Spence is uh he's ducking Crawford. All bullshit. Okay? Spence already said from the beginning when he started, he said that he was going to clean up everything that was on his side of the street, and then he was going to fight Crawford. But Crawford got his own little things going on with Bob Arum. You know what I mean? But people are going to continue to talk about the Spence and the Crawford fight. Well, Crawford have his own things going on. You know what I mean? Bob Arum has been lying from the beginning about who Spence was going. I mean, who Crawford was going to fight, and he's been bullshitting. In the beginning, he said that he had a fight that was set up for Crawford and Pacquiao, but that fight didn't happen because of COVID, and they couldn't get a gate fee. So they couldn't get the fight done. But in reality, what happened is that um, Bob Arum never had a fight set up with Pacquiao whatsoever. Pacquiao was going to go fight um, McGregor, and we can go to the internet and we can see that, you know. And Pacquiao versus McGregor failed because of COVID. And then the WBA was going to script Pacquiao because you guys was the number one contender. And then that's the reason when the fight fell through with only reason why Pacquiao still had a chance to keep the belt is because he said that he was in negotiation to fight Spence. That fight fell through because Spence had an eye injury, and then he had no choice but to go on to fight you guys, who was the number one contender, who the WBA was about to push you guys up as the regular champion. And Pacquiao said no, he'll fight him. Pacquiao fought him. He lost to you guys because that's what happened. So now Spence, who had originally was going to fight Pacquiao, is not going to fight you guys for the belt. But you would still have individuals that would still come out and say, "Hey, yeah, um, Spence is ducking Crawford." Well, we already know who Spence is going to fight. Spence is going to fight you guys before he go across to fight anybody else. But hey, it may be some good news because it seems like Crawford may be signing to PBC. If he signs to PBC, that's all good. But I thought this video right here was a little bit
Fuck Bob
interesting.
Arum. All right?
Here, Keith Thurman
Why you
talking
talking
about
shit, Bob? Keep your
yeah,
goddamn mouth shut.
goddamn mouth
Keep your
shut.
goddamn mouth shut, Bob.
He's been lying from the beginning,
You
though.
want a cheap ass fight? Psst, I'll punch you in your shit for free. How about that?
Whoa.
That's the only cheap ass shit you're gonna get out of me. I'll give you a free lick, boy. Look, man. I'm gonna snap on Bob real quick.
Right. You may
Bob,
hate Keith,
you a
but
piece of shit.
you may hate Keith, but Keith is going to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? Versus of how he feel about himself in the boxing and his boxing status. You know, he's going to inflate himself as being the best or whatever, because that's what boxers do, and I don't expect anything less from him. But The reality of it is, yeah, Keith is telling the truth about Bob. Let's hear a little bit of it.
You're one of the worst fucking promoters in the game. Okay? All of your great fighters left your ass.
All of
Oscar De La Hoya left your ass. Floyd Mayweather left your ass.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao left your ass. I missing anybody? Shoot. Crawford, he about to leave your ass.
Left already. So
He about to leave your ass. Look, man. Bob, you know what's up. You know I never asked for anything. It ain't my fault you can't afford a great fight. Okay?
can't.
You cheap as
tried
shit.
to.
You can barely pay your own fighters good money.
Not trying to play
Okay?
nobody.
That ain't my fault. You got ESPN backing you. You got Terrence Crawford, one of the most talented welterweights in the welterweight division, and you can't get him paid. You can't make him famous enough.
Can't.
You got Max Kellerman sipping on all the Crawford juice, and I love Crawford too. He's a great fighter since the amateurs. I love that boy. I love all my peers because we the real ones. We the real ones. Bob, what did $2 million buy you your last fight? A bullshit ass fight. Come on now. Come on now, Bob. Okay? I speak that realness.
So that's the reality of it. You guys want to keep talking about Spence and Spence this and Spence that. Spence has been saying the same thing from the beginning. From the beginning. He's been saying the same thing from the beginning. I'm going to clean up everything on the PBC side before I go across the street. Simple as that. So please tell me, why do people still consist to keep saying that Spence is ducking Crawford? Come on. The only meaningful fight that Crawford has had is with Porter. And that fight ended in cloud. Like, we don't really know. Because Porter's father stopped the fight because of his own ego. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like what I was seeing. I seen Porter get hit way more and get dropped in a fight and still win the fight. Honestly, he was winning on the cards. He got dropped against uh uh, uh AB, Adrian Bona, and still won the fight. So why would Kenny Porter stop the fight? That I don't know. It seemed like it was some bullshit to me. So it's still a question mark. Is Crawford a real true contender at welterweight? He hasn't fought no top welterweight besides Porter, and that fight ended in some bullshit.
Anytime.
Look, listen.
With him. Sean, obviously not the way you wanted the fight to end. What are your thoughts on your father stopping the fight?
No, he's doing what he knows he needs to do. I didn't expect that.
Here's Porter sticking up for his father, even though he knows some
bullshit. We just kind of always
bullshit.
had a unspoken understanding that if he sees what he needs to see, he's gonna do what he did. I didn't expect it.
He said that
Did you
he
feel
stopped
that
the
you were in
fight
a
because he
condition to
didn't
continue in this
train right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
The punch that he was catching me too clean.
He was punching me too clean. Come on.
It was a typical Sean Porter fight. It was competitive. The judges had it very close until the stoppage came in the 2 knockdowns. But you are the only man who has been in the ring with every welterweight of consequence, every welterweight champion of this era. Where do you
And
place
of course, Porter is
Terrence
going to
I knew
say,
you'd ask who's the best out of everybody I've been in the ring with. There's no doubt that man, I think, hit me more than anybody I've been in the ring with. He was on point.
that's a lie.
A through Z. The competitor in me, man, won't stop looking at him, wanting to fight him again. He's that good that I want to do it again. Congratulations, bud.
What makes him special, different?
You know what? He's got it. And I said that multiple times in interviews, inside and outside of the ring. He just has that,
Porter's always going to be a
Jerry
classy
Maguire,
guy.
the Quan. That's what he's got. So
You know what I mean?
Now, Kenny, I know that's the toughest decision for a father or a trainer to make.
Listen to what Kenny said.
prompted
Listen
you
what
to
Kenny
stop the
said.
fight tonight?
Honestly, his preparation.
His
He didn't prepare like I
preparation.
wanted him to prepare.
He didn't prepare like I
So
wouldn't want him
that's
to
just,
prepare. And that's
that
the
just
reason.
makes
Look,
me
he
say,
getting
you know
booed.
what? I
And
don't
that's the
want him in
reason
that
why he
situation.
stopped the fight. He didn't stop the fight because he was getting hit more or none of that bullshit that Porter was saying. Porter said those things because, he's going to be a classy guy and he's going to always try to make good television. But the reality of it is that Porter's father stopped that fight simply only because of his own ego. Simple as that. And we all know that. So I don't understand why individuals are going to keep saying that Spence is and 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 if you don't believe me, look. Let's go to Facebook real quick. I'm gonna go to Facebook real quick, and I'm gonna go to one of these boxing forums. You know what I mean? And you go to the boxing forum, you're gonna see. Let's see. Uh, oh, this ain't it right here. Hold on. Go to these boxing forums, and you see people saying the same thing over and over because they don't really understand boxing. Matter of fact, I think it was on this guy's right here. His one of his posts that he put out. Right here. Look at this. See this? He put out this post right here. You see these posters out here on Facebook that still want to say it. Look, Errol Spence, huh? That boy ducking Crawford. I knew he was going to go that route. What do you mean if he was going to go that route? He already said he was going to go that route from the beginning. I'm going to clean up what's on my side of the pond before I go on the other side of the pond and fight somebody else. But no, that's not good enough for these people. Why? Because they want to see the fights that they want to see, and they don't understand how boxing is done, the business side of it, and everything. Why would Spence not fight you guys for the WBA before he go over to fight Crawford? Crawford has one belt. So that means that if Spence has the WBC, the IBF, and the WBA, and he goes in a fight with Crawford, what happens? He's the A side. He knows he's the A side. And him knowing that he's the A side, he's going to get 60-40. And if Crawford doesn't want to accept 60-40, that means that he doesn't want to fight. But we can even go there. Look. Even when it was time for Crawford, when it was everybody wanted Crawford to fight Pacquiao. You know what I mean? This is 2019. Bob Arum says that he killed the Pacquiao versus Crawford fight. I didn't want Manny to take that kind of damage. It has nothing to do with Manny taking that type of damage in 2019. He just didn't want to get Crawford that fight. He wanted Crawford to fight guys like Kalawaskas, whatever's Green Machine. You know what I mean? When Crawford came into the 147 division, who did he fight? He fought Horn. After fighting Horn, he went and he fought uh, David Benavidez's brother, Benavidez, cokehead brother, who haven't been in the ring for 2 years, who got shot in the leg, and all bullshit. All bullshit. Then after one of those fights, you saw when Crawford and Bob Arum got into the ring, Bob Arum just sat there and lied. So when Crawford figured out like, yo, you're bullshitting me, whatever, and now Crawford's at the end of his contract, what Crawford did, Crawford now is suing Bob Arum. Right? Why is he suing Bob Arum? Why? When you see why he's suing Bob Arum, what's the reasons? Boxer Terrence Crawford is suing boxer promoter Bob Arum, citing racial discrimination and Arum's treatment of black fighters. The lawsuit says that Arum's company, Top Rank, didn't book Crawford a fight, violating his contract. Why? I don't really think that it has any, maybe it does have something to do with racism with Bob. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is that Bob was not trying to make those fights for Crawford at all. And he was lying to Crawford, and Crawford was riding with it. And that's what happened. But y'all have to stop saying that Spence is ducking this guy because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. His relationship with Bob Arum is the reason why he didn't get those fights. And that's it. There's nothing else to talk about. So the fights that the public or casual fans want to see because they go through the internet and they look at these highlights, they don't watch the whole fight. They don't really understand boxing. They try to treat it as some regular sports event. Sports events is different. When you watch basketball, basketball is a regulated sport with two teams, and you can sit back and you can debate who's the best, LeBron or Steph Curry, whatever you want to do with that. But with boxing is totally different. You don't play boxing when it's no teammate. It's none of that. You want to make a fight, you make a fight based on who you promote it with, who you who that promoter is assigned with, what type of network, you know what I mean? And that's what decides it. It has nothing to do with any. These fighters is not ducking each other. These fighters want to make money. They are prize fighters, and you have to understand that. So when you are a regular typical sports fan and you like this guy and it's like, oh, that's my guy, so whatever with the other guy, and I'm just gonna be no. You know what I mean? If you're a true boxing fan, what happens is that you look at the fighters, you look at styles make fights, and when those fighters get into the ring, you get what I mean? Y- That's what decides it. Who wins? You have to accept, unless it ends in some bullcrap. If it ends in some bullshit ass card where you have some judge that is favoring the money fighter, you know what I mean? I can understand. But when the fighter gets in there, he doesn't want to make it go to the scorecard, and he puts in his effort and he dominates it, and he's going to stop his opponent, or he's going to dominate every round. And that's the way boxing goes. It's no it's not like typical sports. It's not a team sport at all. You know what I mean? Just because you like Crawford doesn't mean that you have to like every fighter that Bob Arum has on Top Rank. Because you like the zone fighter, you're going to ride with no, that's not how boxing goes. Styles make fights. The quality of your opponents decide what type of and the status of the type of boxer you is. Simple as that. You know what I mean? So please, guys, stop saying that Spence is ducking Crawford. No one is ducking Crawford. Crawford has his own woes. He was signed to Top Rank. And when you sign to Top Rank, then Top Rank decides who you fight. Simple as that. And if Top Rank decides that Crawford, he can't. Why would Bob Arum, when Bob Arum can set him up against some lowly, Top Rank fighter that's at welterweight like Green Machine? Why would he put him against a real true fighter like Danny Garcia? You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. He's not going to do that. And then when you go to Bob Arum, even back in 2018, when they was asking Bob Arum, you know what I mean, uh, Bob, are you going to try to put Terrence Crawford against any top welterweight because, PBC owned the stock of the top welterweights. They all signed to PBC. You're like, oh, I don't think those fighters is top fighters. I'm gonna put him against Green Machine, which is a Class B fighter. And even that fight, showed that Crawford, he won the fight, but he got hit with punches that he wasn't even supposed to get hit with. And I think that if you put Crawford against a top PBC fighter, then it's going to be different for him. Unfortunately, one of the top PBC fighters that Crawford did fight against, which was Porter, ended in some bullshit. Ended in some bullshit because of the relationship between Porter and his father. And Kenny Porter said it right out of his own mouth. I didn't stop the fight because he was getting hit too much. I didn't stop the fight because I thought that my son was hurt. I stopped the fight because I felt that he didn't put in the preparation for this particular fight. Simple as that. And if he stopped the fight on that point alone, we all know it's bullshit. So guys, simple as that. Spence is not ducking Crawford. Because I know who Spence is fighting next. Spence is fighting you guys. So the reality of it is, who is Crawford fighting? We have no idea. But you're going to keep saying that Spence is ducking Crawford. Let's look. Look. Let's just look. What is Crawford next fight? Look, next fight. Crawford's next fight. 2022. Boxing Hole predictions Crawford's biggest fight. Right? Automatically, Bob already had it set up. He already told everybody that he wanted Crawford to fight Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor. Is Josh Taylor a welterweight? No. Josh Taylor an option for Terrence Crawford in early 22. Top ranked promoter Bob Aaron, Terrence Crawford could be working with the company again soon in a fight against Josh Taylor if Scottish fighter moves up to 147. He's not a 147 fighter. So why is Crawford trying to fight Josh Taylor? He can fight you guys. He can fight number one. He can fight Danny Garcia. Even if he fought Danny Garcia, that would be a better fight at 147 than going to fight Josh Taylor. But guys would still turn around and say that Spence is ducking Crawford.
The
You know what I
official
mean? It's ducking Crawford, which is totally some bullshit. So, guys, all I'm saying is stop spitting your own feelings of what fight that you want to happen and really look at boxing in its entirety. Boxing is not a regulated sport. Boxing is a sport with promoters and networks, and you got to look at the whole picture. And until then, I'm just going to say good night, guys.